Okay.
Is this how we start this?
This is how we start. Here we fucking go.
Know.
Welcome to a very special episode of J-Ro Plays.
This is the best episode.
Oh my god, is it? Is this the mountaintop?
I don't know, man. I mean, based on what I'm looking at, I have a lot of feelings.
So, today, me and Mettaliar are going to read Sonic's Ultimate Harem, Chapter 1.
By Little Sonic?
By Little Sonic.
A dramatic reading, you say?
A dramatic reading.
New Little Sonic is an interesting... Oh my god. Sonic's Ultimate Harem.
Little Sonic's a legend.
Yeah, it is. They are.
Okay, so, first of all, I have a headcanon. I don't know how much of this you've read. But I have a headcanon where the whole conversation between Mario and Sonic, which we'll get to, Mario's not taking him seriously at all, and is fucking with him, because he knows he's lying. And that's how I'm going to play that character.
That's fine.
Also, any character I play, I will be playing them by their, like, game canon, personalities, instead of how Little Sonic wants them to be.
I'm intrigued to see how this goes.
Alright.
I want to see what you mean by that.
Oh, you'll see. I think you'll see right in the beginning.
Oh fuck. Alright, so who is narrating?
Maybe we should have figured this out first.
That's the thing. We're just gonna...
Alright, let's get started!
Oh hell yeah. Alright. Let us do this. Alright. Chapter 1. Rogue. Sonic's Ultimate Fanfiction by Lil Sonic.
God bless you.
God bless you. It was a beautiful day on planet Earth. The sun was shining, the people were just about going about their business and taking in the peace and quiet. There was no screaming and running from any monster or robot attacks, nor were there any police responding to the usual bank robbery or two. Everything has been going very well for the citizens. Somewhere in the city, there was a familiar sight most of the city was used to. The sight being a blue bipedal hedgehog wearing a black sleeveless shirt, a matching pair of black fingerless gloves, and blue highlights at the bottom of his wrist. Baggy blue cargo pants with a dark blue design on his right leg. A pair of iconic extreme gear glasses in sneaker combination with the color of the latter being black and with blue highlights instead of the usual metallic crimson. Playfully smirking white while simultaneously shredding concrete on a skateboard just for the fun.
Listen, we all know Sonic in his black sleeveless shirt with his black fingerless gloves, his blue cargo pants, his extreme gear glasses and sneakers, totally decimating a city just for the funsies.
Shredding concrete on a skate. I mean, I know what they're going for, and to be fair, the one thing I like about Sonic is that he's very malleable in like what cool is. And just in general, because you can see Sonic skateboarding, and if you saw a video of Sonic skateboarding, you'd probably be like, yeah, that might be canon. That's just how it goes.
Sonic absolutely cucking a city.
Yeah. That's how I think of when I think of Sonic. I'm sorry, Sonic Team. If you're listening, I'm sorry.
Sonic Team, if you're listening, I'm so sorry for so many things.
If you're listening, keep doing what you're doing, and people respect and love you. It's just a matter of, like, you need to understand that this is you signed up for a job where you know the Sonic fan. We live in a post-Sonic fan base world. You knew what
we
you were
can never take that back.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't.
like sitting on this towel, and I don't know why.
Why?
Yeah.
However, despite the different wardrobe, everyone who saw the Hog knew that identity quite well from the countless times he had saved the world from certain doom. Everyone who saw him knew that the creature was none other than the legendary Blue Blur, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Also, get used to him being referred to as the Blue Blur a lot.
A lot?
A lot.
Okay.
Or the Blur.
I know that's a common nickname for him.
Yeah, but nobody uses it like a noun. Like, they'll use it like an adjective. Like, they'll call him, like, he's Sonic the Blue Blur. But, like, nobody's like, oh, that's just Blur, you know? That's what we call Sonic. He's Blur.
Reading the next line, I see exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
His smirk now forming into a grin. The Blur was as relaxed as he could be, with very much enjoying the period of relief this peaceful day provided. Seconds later, he noticed this entrance to a general store coming up, which immediately reminded him of his thirst. Without breaking the mental beat that he had set up in his head, the blur lightly stomped his foot down, halted the skateboard, and once he scooped it up, he went right inside and nabbed himself a bottle of water. At that time, even though he knew the purge... What the fuck? I can't read. That's also sorry. At the time, even though he knew his penchant for doing so, the hog was certain he wasn't bump into anyone, and knew that...
The hog was certain he wasn't bump into anyone.
Yeah, bump into anyone he knew. And that this trip was just going to be your average get in, get out kind of deal. But lo and behold, the moment he set foot inside the place was the moment his gaze ended up locking onto a familiar blonde bounty hunter who was smiling with glee, her day clearly having been made just by the mere sight of her friend.
As Samus is wont to do, she's always smiling in glee.
Spoilers! First of all, we don't know.
You're right, it's the other blonde bounty hunter.
Blonde bounty? Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, I'm sorry.
I don't know Sonic Cannon that hard. Samus Aran, well, I'll be. What are you doing here? Sonic greeted with one hand, going to grab the bottle on the shelf next to him, while the other went to shake the hunters.
You know me, Sonic. I'm just here gathering a few supplies. It's good to see you, by the way.
Samus responded, her voice filled with overwhelming warmth.
As Samus do.
Yeah. Same here, the blur responded. It was definitely a nice surprise, so how's life been treating you? Seconds later, the hunter let out a small sigh of frustration, a reaction Sonic had seen quite frequently. So much so, in fact, that already he was forming the reason why this was on his mind right as she started to voice it.
Well, Ridley broke out of containment again 2 nights ago, a mere day after I'd recaptured him, which meant I had to spend a good half of my day tracking him down, which wasn't too fun, especially with the bruises I received.
Just as quickly as it came, Samus's scrunched brow quickly faded and her face went right back to being a warm smile.
But other than that, it's been pretty good, I'd say. Speaking of which, how's your day been?
I love your Samus. It's been good, Sonic began moving on to the big question he had on his mind. So how's Snake been? Is he still going out with you? A light chuckle, the hunter crossed her arms.
He's been well, though we never were an item. We did go out one last time this week before, but like usual, it's always been his friends.
Samus began.
Though I do wonder who told you we were...
Immediately, the image of a certain feathered pilot came to mind.
Let me guess, Falco told you.
Yep.
Falco's a gossipy bitch.
I'm not surprised that I accept this headcanon completely. Yep, Sonic said with a nod, prompting Samus to let out a slightly longer chuckle in response.
Ha 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 ha. That guy has practically made it his mission to figure out my love life.
Sonic immediately...
Oh, shit.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? That's not how that's not how writing works, Sonic.
Yeah, there was okay, yeah. Alright, so that guy's practically made it a mission to figure out... Wait, unless... Okay.
Oh, no, Samus says that.
And then Sonic immediately smirks in response.
So I was right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I get it. It's a little... That would go there, then.
Yeah, that should go
start
in
it
the
with
next...
Sonic immediately smirks.
That should go
yeah.
in the next paragraph.
No kidding. I should have known it was him just up to his old tricks. Like how he once said you were going out...
With Mario.
Samus finished, her lips now forming into a big stupid grin.
Like Samus do.
Yeah.
Oh, don't remind me. I still get the giggles every time I think back to that. Especially when Peach actually started believing it. Which caused him to show up. Ha, ha, ha.
Noticing she was starting to crack up, Blur immediately took over. Which caused him to show up to Star Fox HQ, his face red as a beet. Oh, I remember that, especially when he tossed his arms across the room and got his beak stuck into a wall. He certainly got the idea to never mess with him, I'd say. Even before he said that, the usually reserved bounty hunter was just lost it and started to crack up like there was no tomorrow. And it was... I'm very scared. I want to hug Samus now. It was at this unusual sight that the few people that were in there around them started to do the same.
Everybody clapped.
Everybody started...
Obama was there.
Everyone just started laughing in unison, which is a bit terrifying.
Okay, everybody started laughing in unison at the thought of this small Italian man walking into a mercenary HQ and absolutely relentlessly beating the piss out of this dude. And so much so that he throws him through a wall. And this 7-Eleven's like, I've never heard anything so fucking funny in my life.
fucking... Yes.
I dig this headcanon.
This is the best thing. Oh, let's see. I have to restart. Hell, even Sonic couldn't resist cracking at least a small smile at it. After a few more seconds, soon everything mostly went back to normal, though Samus still had the occasional odd snicker or two for a little bit following this moment.
So, Sonic, are you doing anything later?
Samus questioned. The Blur then lightly grasped his chin and mentally combed through his schedule for any important event he might have missed, only to turn up nothing. So far, there's nothing I can think of. Why ask? Despite having years of formal military training and discipline, as well as a massive body count due to her career and history, even the great Samus Aran was not immune to nervousness as her cheeks soon flushed with red seconds after the Blur finished his sentence. However, the nervousness was only just that. Cosmetic as the girl was still able to power on through and pop the question.
I'm gonna need like a pillow to scream into as we read this.
You wanted this.
I know.
I
forgot how cringy it was.
I came up here expecting something completely different. No, I am not disappointed in the slightest.
Well, I was wondering if maybe you and me could go out for dinner tonight.
What? Okay. Sonic's eyes flickered with surprise. Despite his past experiences, any time he was asked out, he still came into it as a surprise to him, and the reaction he gave, as well as the tone he said it in, put Samus very much at ease as she then realized he was in the exact same boat as she was. You mean as friends, right? Smiling, the hunter shook her head.
So this is what I was talking about in the beginning. So, like, trying to write Samus as, like, Sonic, would you like to go on a date? Is so wrong. It's so, like, upsettingly wrong.
Do you think Samus doesn't feel nervousness?
No, I think if Samus wanted to go on a date with you, she would walk up and go, you, me, date. Or I will kill you.
Jesus. You don't think she... Okay. I could definitely see she would definitely be more of like, hey, listen, I want fucks. Listen, you want to fuck? I'm trying to fuck right now. She's trying to get it in, like, absolutely.
So, like even if, like, a little bit of nervousness would be fine, but this idea that she's like, oh, we're gonna go as friends, right? Oh, I don't know. Do you want to go as friends? I want to go as more than friends. It's so fucking bizarre.
I love it. I fucking love this. Your line, J-Ro. I'm ready for it.
Not quite.
She began.
I was thinking something more along the lines of, well, I think it should be obvious.
Sonic's interest perked up at the exact same time as his heart rate. You actually do want to go out on...
If you're interested, of course.
Samus quickly interjected, only continuing once she saw Sonic get into his thinking stance.
Because if you don't, that's fine as well. That feels very Samus Aran.
Yeah, if you don't want to, then fine.
Then this is fine. This is acceptable to me.
Are you kidding me? Sonic said moments later, his lips curling into a smile. I'd love to. Is 8 o'clock a good time? Getting over the surprise and resisting every urge to squee, Samus nodded.
That sounds wonderful.
Right then, Sonic went to pay for the bottle, though not once did his eyes leave the hunter. Great to hear, the Blur said right as he set his board back down. Well, I'll see you then. I have to get going now. The day's still young, you know.
Indeed it is. I best be heading off also. I promised to meet with Peach and Zelda to catch up with them.
Before they went their separate ways, the blonde bounty huntress took the Blur by surprise when she pulled him close into a very warm hug, which was quickly returned by the former. A few seconds later, Sonic sped off the store and was once again back to boarding down the sidewalk at extremely high speeds, and would every now and again perform a trick or two, which would usually get a good reaction from the crowds around him and the smile he'd see before more often than not, which made his day. That was one sentence.
Yeah, I know.
I love him.
Also, like, who are these crowds? Who are these people? Like,
the Sonic NPCs that we saw in Sonic Adventure 1. Like, okay. the bikini ladies and the children in the pool. Like, those are the people who are clapping right now because Sonic did a kickflip.
Okay, but, like, you remember in, like, the late 90s in cartoons when, like, they're like school cartoons where there'd be the popular kid that's just surrounded by other people at all times?
Yeah.
That's just Sonic, I guess.
Yeah, I know. He's
running at the speed of sound, and still he has, like, fangirls around him.
To be fair, if you were possibly able to see someone do a kickflip at Mach 3, are you saying you want to be like, holy shit, that's awesome?
I want to know who these people are who can see him do a kickflip at Mach 3.
I mean, maybe they're just adapted to Sonic and being like, I can see at supersonic speeds, because otherwise there's just a blue thing that just peers back for like...
No, they're not reacting to his trick. They're pissed because he's shattering their windows as he runs and destroying the concrete beneath him.
That's another headcanon. You know, they're actually just cheering and yelling at him to leave them alone.
And Sonic's just like, yeah, I'm so cool.
Yeah, oh my god, everyone loves me. They're all reacting to my kickflip.
Sonic's just a nice guy, TM.
Well, I can't confirm that yet.
Not yet.
We're building a case file. I want to build a case file for Sonic.
That's what this series is about now. Building a case file for Sonic, nice guy, trademark.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
A little while later, the Blur decided to slow down for the time being, to enjoy his surroundings a bit more, and as soon as he did, his gaze soon snapped to a familiar mustached man in red and blue. Wait, is that... Didn't take long before the figure's features became much more pronounced and provided some truth to what the Blur guessed. Mario, Sonic called. As soon as the words sounded off, the plumber's gaze snapped into the blue hedgehog, and as soon as it did, a smile graced his face, and he soon started waving.
My headcanon is that he yelled at Mario, and Mario, like, immediately, like, snapped towards him. Like, he was gonna fucking kill him. Like, he was ready to fight. He was like, oh, Sonic!
Like, he's just like, Mario!
I will fucking get... Oh, it's Sonic, my friend! Sonic!
Mario called right as he started making his move towards the Blur.
There's no quotes there that start this as a phrase, but I guess I'm saying it.
Yeah.
How's it going, my friend? It feels like it's been ages since I last saw you.
Same here, bud. I'm doing great. Smiling, the Blur as soon as he was within reaching distance of his friend, went to shake his hand. I just met with Samus earlier today.
Really?
Mario asked.
How's she been holding up?
The usual. You know how it is for her. In response, the plumber couldn't help but let out a chuckle.
Boy, do I ever. The life of a bounty hunter is never easy.
No kidding. But enough about that. How's it going, pal? Sonic asked.
So far, things have been terrific.
Mario began.
It's refreshing to actually enjoy your day without having to worry about some random threat attacking. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely, replied Sonic. A little bit later, the plumber's eyes moved over to the board in the Blur's pack.
So, I see you've taken up skateboarding.
Noticing his friend's reaction, the Blur showed a slight hint of confusion. I sure have. You didn't know I skateboarded?
Well, admittedly, I should have guessed. I mean, I do remember when you took up hoverboarding, but I always thought that experience would be so exciting that it put you off just plain old skateboarding.
Oh, yeah.
This is the most awkward interaction.
These are best friends.
Best friends.
This is what friendship is about. You know me too well. Yeah, it's nowhere near as fun as those nifty extreme gear boards, but if you ask me, I think any way you can catch some good air and shred is good.
Some things that never change.
Mario thought to himself. So, where are you heading off to? Sonic began. Going to meet with Luigi? Mario shook his head, though his tone was still as jovial as ever.
No, he's with the Daisy right now on a date.
Wait a minute, a date? Mario nodded.
It's crazy, isn't it? It only seems like it was a day or two ago and he could barely look her in the eye, let alone speak to her now. He's just as brave as the rest of them.
Nice! Hey, next time you see him, be sure to mention that I'm proud of him, alright?
Will do.
Mario replied with a nod.
Well, anyway, I'm just gonna go to the diner to get us something to eat. I didn't really feel like cooking today. Would you like to come with me? I could use a good friend to talk to.
Despite the answer already being on his mind, Blur's stomach still did not hesitate to make sure he knew that the possibility of turning the plumber down was not going to happen.
Or else I'll beat the fucking piss out of you.
Your stomach will implode inside you.
Out of fucking fear of Mario.
Is that how... Okay.
It's like if a fucking mob boss came up to you and was like, hey, you. So, I'm feeling a little peckish. You wanna have a little dinner? We'll go to my ma's restaurant. Okay? And if you don't come, I'll beat you in the head with a baseball bat and put you in the back of a 72 Chevy, drive it into the Hudson.
You're basically... That's how I can be interacting with Mario in a world where Mario exists.
Yeah.
However, Sonic, though. Sonic would be the only one to be like, no, I'm good. Sure thing, old buddy, Sonic replied.
You might be able to run faster than me, but you sleep.
You still sleep. I know where you live. Sonic replied, his arm draping around Mario's shoulder. In fact, I'd be willing to pay the tab if you'd like. Mario smiled at his response, though he was still a little perplexed by him at this very unlike blur. In fact, last time a scenario like this occurred, Sonic's response was something along the lines of, "No thanks, bud. I'm looking more for some adventure." And yet here he was, actually not worrying so much about his life in the fast lane, and actually being willing to go on a meal with him.
Life in the fast lane.
Trying to lose your mind.
Life in the fast lane. Well, at least I know... fuck.
You're slowly getting more Irish.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least I know what to ask him about first.
He thought first as they found themselves a table. Whoa, they just got there?
Yeah, they're just... I was thinking about to get a little food.
Yeah, okay. The diner is here.
Mario opens the dimensional portal.
Oh my god. I guess, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I could buy Mario. Just
Mario, Time Lord.
Those found themselves at the table. As they waited for their opportunity to get their meals, it was Mario who first broke the silence.
I like to think that they get to the diner immediately, and they're just sitting there silently for minutes. Just staring at each other. Just dead silence.
Well, obviously Mario wasn't expecting... He offered him solely out of gratitude, expecting him to say no. And Sonic's like, yeah, I'll tag along. I don't even pay. And now he's like...
Oh, fuck!
I didn't expect this shit. Oh, fuck.
So how's the life been for you, Sonic?
Mario asked. So far, it's been spectacular. I'm traveling around the world and meeting and sharing smiles with new people and going on incredible new adventures. It's all been a wonderful experience, Sonic answered truthfully.
Same old Sonic, always looking for adventure,
Mario said with a chuckle.
So are you still as cocky as ever?
What do you mean, Sonic asked.
Well, I mean, have you been doing things like toying with your enemies? Toying with your enemies?
Are you a cat now? I guess Sonic does. Sonic is probably someone, if he played video games, he would do the most BM shit imaginable on you if he was kicking your ass.
Yo, I really want to see, like, Sonic as a Dark Souls invader.
He would point down midway through your attack animation, and then zip around and backstab you.
Oh my god.
One frame backstabs.
He would lag throttle, point down, teleport behind you, hit you with that nothing personal kid, and backstab you.
Point down again.
And then point down again.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, have you been doing things like toying with your enemies? Throwing out the insult toward friends and foe, and have you still been smug to people? Mario's such a dickhead.
Are you still being a fucking asshole, Sonic?
So Sonic, are you still an asshole?
Realizing what Mario was asking, the boy quickly shook his head. Nope, I've stopped that long ago.
Really?
Mario asked with eyes widened.
Why?
Well, you see, Mario...
Well, sorry.
One day I stopped having a good long thought about what I've been doing with my life and found that while I did a lot of good for the world, the way I was doing it at the time was, for lack of a better term, reckless, and all it did was put more of my friends as well as innocents in the way of harm. Following that realization, I left on a personal quest to see what others went through and used what I learned to become a calm, mature hedgehog you see before you now.
Really? Well, color me shocked. That explains a hell of a lot. Moments ago, you would have cracked at least one joke about me being slow and possibly even challenged me to a race. Just to see me huff and puff, and yet you didn't do either one of those things.
Well, I hope you like the new me, Sonic the Hand. I mean, this was a very difficult change to make, as there hadn't been a moment in the past before my trip where I wasn't a smartass to at least one person, and I knew that I knew that pissed quite a few people off, which is why I worked as hard as I could to separate myself from that. The hog took a few seconds to replenish his energy with a bottle of water in his pocket. You're at a diner.
I don't pay for water at diners.
I bring my own water bottle and drink from it.
I don't drink from the tap. I read a news article that says that's dangerous.
Oh my fucking god. I'm loving
my
this.
god.
I'm loving this headcanon. Is this what you wanted, J-Ro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really happy about this. I saw a Snapchat news article that said bottled water is better for you.
Oh, fuck.
Sonic's just a dork.
Yeah, I want to show people that I have the capacity to mature just like everyone else. The plumber couldn't believe what he was hearing. Of course he'd been lying if he didn't admit that he was proud of the speedster for trying to make such a massive difference in his life, but overall he never knew he actually felt that way about his attitude. A few seconds later, and with a smile, he gently set his hand on his friend's shoulder.
Across the table.
Yeah.
Just reached over. Sonic, we are friends.
Yeah.
You know, while we may have been rivals in the past, even if you did annoy the hell out of me back then, I just want to let you know, Sonic, you were, and always will be to me one of my greatest of friends.
Aww.
Oh, this is really a story about friendship.
Surprised by the warmth and acceptance of his former rival provided, Sonic couldn't help but give him a smile. Thanks, Mario. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem,
replied Mario.
Now, moving on. Where did you exactly visit in this trip of yours? Italy? Japan? Mobius?
After taking another sip of his water, Sonic let out a small chuckle. Far more than that, bud. I didn't just go to different regions, but rather I went from world to world, dimension to dimension, different timelines, and much, much more.
Well, really?
Noticing the slight hint of disbelief in his friend's voice, the blur nodded. I'm serious, man. I saw all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh, I'm sure it's not all that crazy.
Mario began.
I mean, this is coming from the same hedgehog who sucked through storybooks, turned into a werewolf-like creature because of a piece of ancient evil getting stuck in him, and, okay, you know what? I believe you now. You've been through so much crazy crap that it doesn't sound so far-fetched anymore.
After letting out a short chuckle at Mario's reaction, and just as he was about to go into a bit of what he saw, his mind stumbled across a certain thought that caused his cheeks to become flushed with red and his voice to stammer a slight bit.
So, like, keeping the accent for Mario is so hard because it is not written like Mario has an accent.
Like, it occasionally is.
It sometimes throws an in.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
It's such a weird, writing like that.
Like, I understand it's, like, legitimately hard to write in an accent.
Yeah, it is something, yeah.
Like, it's something you have to constantly keep in mind.
You have to notice, you have to know the accent and know certain characteristics, but then you have to keep it consistent.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, so it's, like, hard to hold on the accent when there's no consistency.
Oh, and it was through this that I ended up,
Ended up what?
Mario asked, his eyebrow cocked with interest. Well, it's kind of a secret. The plumber's eyes widened a bit.
Mario just rolls his eyes, puts his arm over the back of the diner thing, just like crosses his legs. Okay, here we go.
Oh, this is going to be one of those days.
The brave and formerly brash Sonic the Hedgehog is stumbling over a simple secret.
He thought to himself.
Well, this is a new one. Is that also me?
I think so.
A secret. Care to tell me?
Okay, when he says think to him, okay. Interesting.
Oh, so he thought that to himself, and then he paragraph breaks, and then goes into a...
Yeah, because, okay.
A secret? Care to tell me?
Beads of sweat started to roll down the blur's head, right as he found himself torn between if he should cave into honesty or if he should come up with an excuse to get the plumber to stop asking. I think it was... I don't really want to talk about it. Despite his desire to respect his friend's wishes, Mario just couldn't help but find this at least a little strange. Just the very idea of Sonic, this self-described guy who loves adventure, who has seen his fair share of freaky things in his life, and was not once scared to talk about it, suddenly getting all squirrely about something so harmless secret that was so incredibly odd to him. In an attempt to relax him, Mario went back to a method he used to get Luigi to spill some of his secrets.
Which, by a method, he means gaslighting. Just wait and see.
Fuck, let's see.
Relax, Sonic. We're best of friends. We've both seen our fair share of weird stuff. It's not like this is the first time we've shared secrets. I won't to tell anyone. Why tense up now?
Almost immediately, a certain painfully obvious thought popped into his head.
Mario slams his hands on the fucking diner table. Is it something embarrassing?
That's not it, Sonic said, shaking his head. This is different. It's complicated.
Complicated? How so?
Visibly uncomfortable, with his eyes jerking from side to side while constantly wiping his consistently sweat-drenched brow. One would almost believe that this is consistent, at least.
Yeah.
Drenched brow. One would also believe that the hog had committed murder.
Sonic is just fucking like a water
Like, he's just doing the fucking Gendo pose and just like...
Oh, fuck.
It's so hard. It's complicated, man. Fuck.
Well, it's...
Let's see.
Oh, wait, no, that's you.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's... Look, I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't really want to talk about that.
Relax, my speedier friend.
Mario said, setting his hand on Sonic's own.
I promise you I will not tell a single soul about this.
Are you sure?
Have I ever been untrustworthy?
Thinking for a moment, Sonic found that, as expected, there was not a single moment his friend had let him down. Despite feeling a bit more confident, there was just one more question that remained. Just why do you want to hear about this so much? Sonic asked.
Well, it just seems weird that despite everything you've seen and done, and all of the secrets you've shared, this is the one time you don't want to tell anyone.
Mario's lips then curled into a smirk.
Plus, once I hear one of my friends or something close to me has a secret, I want to stop until I hear it.
Is that so?
Sonic's a sociopath.
Sonic really...
Or fucking Mario's a sociopath.
Yeah, Sonic so far just seems pretty chill, kind of a dick. Mario's giving me some weird vibes. Is that so? Sonic asked with a nervous chuckle, to which Mario nodded. The two of them waited in silence for what seemed like an hour or so, with Mario waiting patiently, but in anticipation, with his mind going wild on what the supposed embarrassing secret was, whereas Sonic was deliberating with himself if he should even tell it. Finally, after a few more seconds, and taking one glance at his friend's face, he caved. Okay, if you insist, I'll tell, Sonic began. But are you certain you won't tell anyone?
I'd bet my life on it.
Mario replied, in which Sonic couldn't help but chuckle. Going a little theatrical, are we? Well then, if that's the case, here goes. I've kind of been a... Sonic stopped for a moment to take another look at the plumber, who saw that he was already leaning closer, his brow cocked in anticipation. Realizing...
He's like fucking 6 inches from Sonic.
Like he's literally doing the guns. Like, come on, Sonic.
Sonic, tell me all of your secrets. Once my friends have a secret, I will do anything to find out.
I cannot stop until I know them.
It is obsessive, Sonic. It is not within my controller.
Yeah. Let's see. Realizing he couldn't turn back now, the blur took in a deep breath, held it for a few seconds, and exhaled, his stress floating away in a matter of seconds. I'm kind of a player. Mario blinked for a few seconds, the look on his face clearly showing that he thought it was a joke, in which it only took a small look from Sonic to tell him that he wasn't kidding.
Really? That's your secret?
Well, that's part of it, he began. You see, by player I mean that I've actually been in, well, let's call it private encounters with tons of women.
See, this is what I was talking about. Here we go.
Alright.
Sonic's like, yeah, I fuck. And Mario's like, okay, yeah, sure. So you're paying the bill, right?
Yeah, tell me your adventures.
Oh yeah, tell me about this sex you've had, Sonic. I'll take 3 more pieces of cake.
At that moment, the scene that played out, it almost seemed like something straight out of a cartoon, as upon hearing that last part, Mario's eyes shot wide open with shock and bulged over ever so slightly as his jaw simultaneously going slack. The image was so ridiculous, in fact, that the blur couldn't help but chuckle at it. A few moments later, the plumber managed to pull himself together and shook his head for a moment before making his best attempts as he could to speak.
Are you kidding me?
Mario began, his finger raising towards his friend.
You, Sonic the Hedgehog, you had sex?
Sonic nodded.
With a crap load of women.
That's right. And this all happened during my trip around the world. I even have numbers on my phones to show it. Sonic answered truthfully with a smile.
Tell me, how many do you have exactly on your phone?
His smile is still showing. The blur reached into his pocket and comfortably called out a right Samsung Galaxy 3, entered in his list of contacts and started counting. After a few seconds of waiting, he smirked and turned his attention back to the plumber. Well, I can't give you the exact number right away, but let's just say if you saw it, you probably have a heart attack. Sonic answered as he browsed through some of the unread messages he discovered.
How many women have you had sex with, Sonic? I can't tell you, but I swear I've had it.
Well, I can't show you now, but...
If I told you, your head would explode. It's so many sex.
Tell me. Oh, yeah.
Is that,
Oh,
yeah. Is that so?
Sonic nodded.
In that case, can you tell me how many digits?
I can't say. There's too many to count. Flabbergasted, Mario took off his hat and started using it as a makeshift fan.
Oh my goodness, Sonic. So that was your secret all along. You traveled around the world, as well as different dimensions and time periods, just to sleep with the females that you encounter.
Well, not purposefully, Sonic began, but now that I think about it, after you put it that way, it certainly seems like it, but really, the original intent was just to have fun exploring exotic new worlds and help whoever I can along the way. Not once did I expect into even half the stuff I got into, but sure enough it happened, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy every moment of it.
Wow. Just a wow. You've got to tell me everything.
Well, hold on, bud. I only said that I'd tell you a secret, not that I'd... Oh, what the hell, it could be fun. Alright then, Mario, I'll tell you about every girl I slept with. Please tell me this is the fucking plot.
Really?
Sonic nodded.
Alright then. So, I guess we start from the top, alright?
That sounds about right, Sonic said. Now let's see. Who did I sleep with first? For a number of seconds, the hog topped his chin, trying his best to recall the first in what was an incredibly long list of women. I slept with... No, that's not it. It began with an R. It was... oh, I got it. I slept with Rogue. Mario's eyes snapped open so fast, it was almost like he saw a ghost.
So 2 things real quick. First of all, Sonic doesn't remember the name of the person he lost his virginity to.
I don't know if it's that he lost his virginity. It's the first one he went on when he went on a giant sexcapade across dimensions.
I think that's actually the implication, if I remember the story correctly.
Well, I guess we're going to find out.
We are going to find out.
And if you're going to tell me that Rogue from X-Men is the person Sonic lost his virginity to, I'm going to freak out and have several questions.
Secondly, yes, this is the whole story.
It's just, everything
the last chapter, chapter like, what, 356, something like that?
Yeah.
I think it might be more, is his date with Samus.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Let's go. Now we're doing all 300 chapters now.
This is episode 1 of 400.
Listen, we haven't played Danganronpa in so long, and you're gonna start this shit. By 2030, we're gonna fucking we're gonna finish something.
Something.
Yeah.
What Sonic you're not referring to?
Oh yes, I'm referring to the Southern Beauty from the X-Men.
Sonic, I know you've done some crazy things, but you realize who we're talking about here. This isn't just a member of the X-Men. She's one of their most respected, most powerful, and most importantly of all, she was one of the most dangerous. She can take your powers with as much as a touch, and if she held on long enough, she could make you pass out or even kill you.
I know that.
And to add a further fuel to this fire, she's a dating Gambit.
Oh yeah, that's beyond all that. She's already a taking woman.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Listen, look, Mario. I know you're shocked about this. Hell, you're probably wondering how I'm still alive right now. But trust me when I say that he didn't find out about it. The two of us kept it a secret, and plus this was during a very rocky time in their relationship.
I get it. So they weren't necessarily friendly with one another when you two did this.
Exactly, Sonic said with a nod.
I see. But that still doesn't answer the question of how you were able to survive Rogue's powers. Mind starting from the very beginning so I can understand this better?
Not at all, man. It all started when I decided to pay Professor X's school a visit to see how things were running, you know?
Really? You knew Professor Xavier?
Yep, after I assisted the X-Men during one battle with the Brotherhood, they gave me a card that said I could visit at any time.
You, my friend, are one lucky hedgehog. I wish I could do cool things like this.
I'm sure your time will come at some point, man. But like I was saying...
Flashback!
All right.
They can't see me waving my arms, but this is my
They know it's real.
flashback.
They know it's happening.
All right, next time on J-Ro Plays, I think we're going to cut it. This is about the halfway point of the first chapter.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we'll cut it here.
My God, this is amazing.
I told you. The Sonic's Harem is so good. So next time on J-Ro Plays, we're going to, recount the events of Sonic's date with Rogue from the X-Men.
I can't wait for this, dude.
Have a great day. We'll see you next time.